name is Paige. 2 months ago, I turned 35 years old. Currently, I live together with my 40-year-old husband, Eric, and our daughter, Pauline, who is about to take her entrance exam to a private middle school. And from now on, we're gonna have to spend money on Pauline's education, among other things. So after I discussed it with my husband, I decided to start working full-time. I can't wait because I'm working for the first time in a long time. When Pauline was born, I resigned and I became a full-time housewife. I couldn't wait to get out to the outside world for the first time in years. I can't wait to hurry up and work and become useful to society. That's what I thought, and every day I was so excited that I was on cloud nine. And then, a few weeks after I had started working, Pauline suddenly said this to me.
Hey, Mom, are you sure I can take the entrance exam to a private middle school?
Huh? Why are you asking me such a thing?
Because, private school is gonna cost quite a lot of money, isn't it? And if that's too much for you, I'm totally okay with going to a public school,
What are you saying, Pauline? Your mom is totally fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, thanks for worrying about me. But, it may not seem like it, but your mom used to work super hard back in the day.
What? Really?
So you know what? There's nothing for you to worry about, Pauline.
I didn't know that. In that case, that's good.
And plus, your mom really enjoys working, and the reason why I'm able to feel this way is because you've grown up to be so strong. And so I want to work hard for your future and our family's future too.
Okay, well then, I'm not gonna hesitate and I'm gonna keep studying hard so I can get in.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do! With Pauline, we always talk about all kinds of things like this and resolve it together. However, as for my husband, it doesn't exactly go this way. Whenever I start a discussion with my husband, it always goes in a bad direction, and it always ends in a weird, awkward way. Even today, when Pauline and I were having this conversation, around the time we finished the discussion, my husband added his 2 cents.
Oh, but both of you, because I'm not earning enough, I'm sorry for making you guys have to worry about all kinds of things. I'm a failure, aren't I?
Here we go again. This is going to turn into such a chore. And that's why I did my best to be positive and try to end the conversation as quickly as possible. Oh, sorry, did you overhear our conversation? There's nothing for you to worry about, Eric.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best too. But that doesn't matter anyway.
Come on, we're all working hard and doing our best. We're a family, so we can all put our strengths together and work hard together.
But even though I'm the father, it seems like I'm the one who's not working hard enough.
That's not true, because since you're always working hard for us like this, we were able to live comfortably until now and have a good life together.
Really? But still...
We all just need to work hard in our own ways.
But you probably think it doesn't matter whether I'm here or not here, don't you?
I've never thought that once in my life, so let's work hard together, for Pauline. And well, it's like this every time. But there is a reason why my husband has no confidence. After he graduated from college, he's been working as a salesman at the same company this whole time. But not only is there no indication that his salary is going to increase, I've never heard any word about him getting a promotion. He's been working for close to 20 years, and I heard that some of his junior colleagues have been promoted to managers, and maybe he feels like he's being left behind by everyone else. But because of that, he's also not the type to work extra hard or try to get a promotion no matter what. And it's not like he's the type that can't settle unless he gets a promotion. Maybe he doesn't have any interest in things like that. But I think that's fine too. If I start working, our household finances will be more than comfortable, and we're not going to have any problems financially. And so days like this continued, and then one day, a few weeks later, when Pauline came home from prep school, she had a rare, concerned look on her face and came over to me.
Hey, Mom, is Dad going to be back late today from work?
Yeah, it looks like it. I just got the message from him. He said he has a lot of work piled up and has to work overtime.
Interesting. Work, huh? Is that so?
Huh? You have such a hard look on your face. What's the matter?
I know you're really busy, so I don't want to really bother you with this, but look at this.
When Pauline said that, she showed me a certain photo she had taken on her own phone. The moment I saw it, I felt a shock in my heart. And that's because in that photo...
Just now, on my way home from prep school, I saw my dad holding hands and walking with a young woman in his arms. I was so angry that I immediately took a photo.
No way. Who was this woman? But also, Pauline, are you sure you didn't see the wrong person? But I knew in my head, because I saw the photo of myself, that that wasn't the case. But, how do I say this? I don't know what to say, but I just reacted and asked that way. And then Pauline replied like this.
There's no way that it was the wrong person. Because on Dad's work bag, I saw the blue dolphin keychain that we bought on our last family vacation and I put it on there. And Dad hasn't noticed, but I also saw the yellow reflective sticker that I had put on the back of his bag. And he was also wearing his blue and white striped lamb necktie that he always wears on his most important days. I'm pretty sure Dad's the only person that would wear a tie that looks like Where's Waldo like that. And plus, I also confirmed on the tape that I personally put on the side of his shoe so I'd be able to spot him from far away was also definitely there. On top of that, the loose stud that's always on the back of his suit, I also checked that. And also,
Pauline!
Huh? What?
I got it already. There's no mistake that it was Dad, is there?
Right?
I see. What do we do?
Well, that's obvious, isn't it?
What do you mean obvious?
We should let him swim around for a while.
Miss Pauline, this is why you're the best. After I received this shocking confession from Pauline, it was a stormy development until now. But now that I think back to it, recently Eric said that he was busy with work, that he had a lot of overtime and it was hard, or that he had a lot of business meetings. And I feel like there were times he would leave the house overnight saying he had a business trip. Now that I think about it, that guy has been acting suspiciously all along. If that woman that Pauline saw him with is his mistress, and Eric is indeed betraying Pauline and me, most of his actions weren't as shocking, and if anything, they made a lot of sense. I can't believe it! I was only focusing on Pauline's prep for the school exam, so just as Pauline said, in order to grab more definitive evidence, I decided to let Eric swim around for a bit. Of course, all the while hiring a detective and making sure that all of his actions were being watched. And then a few days later, I received a phone call from my parents for the first time in a while. But that was unfortunately a phone call that my father, who had been battling a long-term illness, had taken a turn for the worse and that things were not looking good. However, on this day, I don't know if it was the truth or not, but Eric said he had a business trip and wasn't home. My family house was in a place that was more than 5 hours away by car, but I couldn't wait for Eric to come home, so I put Pauline in the car with me and rushed back to my house. However, by the time I got to the hospital, it was already too late. My father had already passed over to the other side. Honey, he was fighting really hard until the very end, but he was telling me not to tell you that he wasn't feeling well lately.
Really?
But he was the same way with me. That he didn't want to cause worry to you or to anybody. He was always doing his best to keep a smile on his face, and the whole time he was battling the pain by himself. Well, I suppose that's very much like your father, isn't it?
I didn't know. Dad!
And so Pauline and I said our last farewells to my father. I contacted Eric a number of times, but I couldn't get a hold of his phone at all. When he finally came to my family's house, it was 3 days after my father had passed away. After that, things were hectic, and the wake and then the funeral were held. Things were really difficult at that time, and I completely forgot about Eric's affair. About 1 week after all of that, I received another phone call from my mother. Paige, actually, your dad, for you and me, it seems like he left a lot of money for the two of us.
What? Really?
Remember? It was his hobby to buy land and mountains all over the place.
Yeah, I remember.
He bought vacation homes near the ocean and also in the mountains. And there were a lot of other places he said he inherited from Grandpa. Exactly, and it turns out that your father had sold all of those properties while he was alive and turned it into cash. He must have thought that it would be difficult for us to manage all of those properties, and he did that thinking about our futures.
I had no idea.
So when I organized all of that, the amount of the inheritance was... When I heard the amount of the inheritance that my father had left behind, I was shocked. What? 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 I couldn't believe it! It was so much to the point that I couldn't say anything else besides what for a while, because to me alone, he had left $1 million. On that day, I decided to speak to Eric about this. Well, my suspicions hadn't come to light yet, and the detective was in the middle of the investigation, so I didn't feel great yet. But we were a married couple after all, and as long as we were married, I wanted to be fair about it. And plus, when he heard about this amount of money, how would Eric react? I wanted to see that as well. Hey, listen, actually, my father left behind an inheritance for me, and I was wondering what we should do with it.
What? Inheritance? Is that so? Oh, that's good. But also, why are you thinking so hard about it?
All about that. You see,
Because an inheritance is your father's thoughtfulness towards you, right? You should be grateful about that.
well, yes, that's true, but given the amount, it's just, I was a little shocked.
Oh, I see. Because you also just started working. I'm sure you would be shocked that you suddenly receive a couple $1,000s.
No, it's not like that.
Well, there's no need to panic. Because how much is it anyway? Like 30,000?
No, it wasn't like that. It was $1 million.
What? Hey, wait, huh? Did you just say $1 million? Wow, that's amazing. 1 million.
Is it just me, or are Eric's eyes suddenly starting to sparkle? Anybody would be able to see that this guy, all he could see in front of him was the money.
Are you serious? That's amazing. With this, that means that I don't have to work anymore, but also we're instantly rich. This is the best. There's nothing I'm scared of anymore.
Hey, wait, listen, Eric, there's actually something we need to...
Wow, but even still, that was a nice move by your dad. 1 million, huh? And he would leave that much of an inheritance to our family. We can do whatever we want now. I know if you have that much money, then it's the perfect opportunity. You can buy me a new car. Also, a new cell phone, and a tablet, and a watch, and a motorcycle, and also...
Hey, wait! You see, right now I still can't think about what to use the inheritance for.
What are you saying? If we're gonna have that much money, I'm gonna be able to survive without having to work again for the rest of our lives. I'm gonna quit my job when I can find the right time.
No, wait!
Oh, I know! I needed to message somebody! My cell phone! Let's see.
This bastard! The moment he heard we were gonna get a lot of money, he's gonna quit his job? And on top of that, he says there's someone he needs to contact and he's grinning while touching his phone.
Oh, I bet it's that woman anyway. How disgusting. After that, Eric started wasting money and spending recklessly like he was a completely different person. He completely forgot that this was an extremely important time for Pauline with her school entrance exam coming up, and he was totally on cloud 9. A few days after that, I received the results from the detective's investigation, but as you can all probably imagine, he was beyond guilty. That idiot. He was having an affair with a married woman. I can't forgive him. I'll never forgive him. He betrayed Pauline and me, so he's gonna get the punishment that he deserves.
Well then, the curtain is about to rise on Eric's stage of hell.
On that day at night, Eric came home with a stupid look on his face, and I decided to confront him about it.
I'm home. Man, what was I to do? They suddenly asked me to work overtime. It's hard being a guy who's this good at his job. Well, but now I'm a rich guy, so that's easy for me. And a little bit of work like that is nothing to me. So I guess I can forgive them. That was fun. Oh, here, a souvenir for you, Paige. The leftovers of cake. I bought you some cake on the way home, so eat it.
Oh, thanks. Well, thank you so much for that. It's pretty obvious that compared with the size of the box, what's inside is tiny. I'm sure he just brought home the leftovers of what that woman said she didn't want to eat. But this guy, thinking I don't know anything, this complete lack of consideration. He's such a shallow guy who doesn't know how to plan at all. This is why he can't get promoted. Listen, I'm sure you're tired from suddenly working overtime, so sorry to say this now, but there's something I want to talk to you about.
Talk to me? Is it about Pauline's entrance exam? In that case, you don't need to talk to me about it. We have money anyway. So I think we should let Pauline take an exam for whatever school she wants.
Yeah, that's true, but right now I want to talk to you about something separate.
Something separate? What is it? Why are you grinning? Oh, I bet there's something that you also want, isn't there? Like a jewel or a purse? Or is it an expensive dinner?
Those are all wrong.
Well then, what is it? You're grinning so much. It's kind of weird. If there's something you want to say, then say it clearly.
Oh yeah, of course I'd be grinning, because this useless good-for-nothing is about to fall straight to hell, and I know all about it. Actually, Pauline is also on standby. I'm sure Pauline is hiding behind something, and I'm sure she's watching this fold out while holding in her laughter. Eric, all of your overtime until now, where were you doing it, and with who? Where did you go on all your business trips, and with who? Those jewels and those purses? Who are you buying them for?
What? Huh? Wait, what are you saying?
You need to answer me. I've already investigated into this.
What are you saying out of nowhere? Wait a minute. Are you suspecting me of something?
I guess so. If you don't think I don't know anything, you're making a big mistake. The detective has already secured all of the evidence, so you can't make any excuses. Things are going to be difficult for you because that young lady is a married woman.
What? No. Well, that's,
Now that he knew I knew everything, Eric couldn't hide how flustered he was. He was shaking in his pants. Well done. I thought he was gonna cry and drop down to his knees and frantically apologize, but things took an unexpected turn. To my disbelief, this monster started saying this nonsense.
What the hell? So you already knew. In that case, this conversation will be quick.
Huh?
That's right. I'm in a serious relationship with my junior colleague at work, Michelle.
Excuse me?
She's a good one. She's young, and she listens sincerely to whatever I say, and she says that she's going to get a divorce from her husband from me soon. She's a huge difference from you.
So now you're turning on me and not even an apology? Unbelievable.
That's a given. Why should I be apologizing? I was tolerating living with you, an old woman nearing her 40s, all this time, but also, I definitely don't want to live for the rest of my life with someone like you.
From the middle, everything he was saying was so pathetic that I was barely listening to any of it. Oh, but don't worry, of course I'm recording everything. That's right. That means that this guy, the more he opens his mouth and tries to belittle me, the more he does it, the more he's tightening the grip around his own neck. Eric was getting carried away, and he continued.
I'm gonna get a divorce from you, and I'm gonna get together with Michelle. But also, we go to the same company, so we can go on dates while going out to business meetings. Or I can see her in the middle of the workday. Every day is so much fun.
Is that so?
When I quit my job, I'm not going to be able to use the company car so freely for our dates anymore, but that's fine. Michelle can just get on the car, and I can just take over driving it in the middle.
So, do you want to be with that girl named Michelle from now on?
That's right. Looks like you got it. I don't need you anymore. Anyway, that's that. So tomorrow, I'll go and get the divorce papers from the city office. Oh, that reminds me. You better not forget. The assets will be split in half, so I get $500,000. I'm not gonna forgive you if you try to hog it all to yourself. I get to live in paradise with Michelle and spend whatever I want.
What an idiot. I was so over it that there was nothing I could say and I stayed quiet. But that's why I decided that maybe it was about time that I showed him reality. Well then, here's a question. When I say the next words, I wonder what color Eric is gonna turn into. I can't wait to see it. Well then, here we go. You're not gonna get 1 penny.
Huh? Hey, what are you saying? What's that supposed to mean?
Eric started to get angry and his face turned bright red. There it is! The answer was red! What kind of nonsense are you saying?
It's a given, isn't it? We're still husband and wife, aren't we? That means I'm still the son-in-law.
Wait a minute. Did you think that you were gonna get half of the inheritance?
What? Oh yeah, obviously. Because you have $1 million. We're husband and wife, so it's a given that should be split in half.
You really don't know anything, do you?
Excuse me? What are you saying that I don't know? You're the one who doesn't get it. I have the right to get half of that.
That was when Pauline must have had enough and she made her appearance.
Here you go, Dad. Read this paperwork.
Huh?
Shut up and just read it!
What the heck? Alright, fine. Hey, wait. This paperwork.
Looks like you've understood what it says.
What do you mean a settlement fee? And on top of that, $1,000 a month for child support?
I'm going to receive everything I'm meant to receive because this is all you're doing.
Dad, having an affair is what useless people do. Didn't you know that?
So make sure you pay up because you did what goes against the rules of being a husband and wife.
What? No, wait. $20,000? You're telling me that the settlement fee for an affair is $20,000?
Yeah, that's right. When I spoke to the lawyer, he said $20,000 was the average fee. Of course I'm going to be collecting the same amount from your little mistress, too.
No way, but we still haven't finished the separation of assets. Stop saying little things that don't matter. Hurry up and hand it over!
Oh, this guy. Not only does he not know anything, he also has no manners. Listen, you don't have any rights to the inheritance from my father anyways.
Huh? What? But why?
Everybody knows that, because it doesn't get counted as an asset that was earned together as a married couple. Wait a minute, you didn't even know that and you were...
I was counting on that money, and I even bought a new car.
Oh dear.
And I also did a lot of other shopping with the credit card.
That's not all, is it?
I made reservations for a vacation and bought a motorcycle.
Well, looks like you're headed straight for hell. You're getting a divorce from me, and between the settlement fee and the child support fees, on top of all that, the debt for all the things you've been spending recklessly on without knowing anything.
No way.
And that's not all!
Huh?
The fact that you were using the company car for non-business and going on dates during working hours, everything you were saying just now, we were recording all of it!
Hey, wait.
I already sent it over straight to your company.
That's my Pauline. She's quick with her job. So, anyway, goodbye.
Wait a minute, please! Paige! Please!
Eric was crying and yelling, but we ignored him, and Pauline and I grabbed our belongings that we'd already packed up and we walked out of the house. Of course, after that the divorce went through. I made him take out a loan and pay the settlement fee and the child support fees in one payment. Pauline and I moved into a new apartment together. We're not going to worry about money, and I was able to get a divorce from a good-for-nothing guy, and we were living our lives happily and in peace. As for Eric, of course, he was riddled in debt. Apparently, both of them were counting on half of my father's inheritance and were spending recklessly, and they were fired from the company. The only life waiting at the two of them was having to borrow money from shady places, and they both fell straight down into hell, which this is exactly what they call what goes around comes around. Well then, the day of Pauline's private school entrance exam results.
Hey Mom, do you see my name up there anywhere?
You're definitely gonna be fine. Your number was 2022, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see here. It's there! Pauline! It's right up there!
Oh, you're right! Yay! Pauline, congratulations! Thank you, Mom.
Alright, today we're going to celebrate your acceptance. We need to tell Grandma, and to celebrate in style, the three of us can go and eat some good sushi.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!